All right, good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy towards the end of the first full week of June. Morning. How are you? Welcome. I am your host and pilot and Parasox Captain, Uncle B. Welcome to today's Microsoft site. Can't even talk again. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. Jeez Louise. Today we are in the F-14 Bravo Grim Reaper's livery, VF-101. So today, we're doing. This is what I should have done last time we took we flew in the Grim Reaper's squadron livery. So, we'll once we spawn in, and I'll talk a little bit about why we're going to Eglin, and instead of the Naval Aviation Museum there in Pensacola. Morning, Paradox. Let me just put the route in here. Really enjoyed yesterday's flight in the DC-6. Let me. Oh, I'm typing. I'll try to talk at the same time. KVPS. Runway 30. Okay, there we go. And we are on the Southeast Asia server. Boy, I gotta really slow down my speech, I guess, because I can't talk in the mornings all of a sudden now. It's karma. I wound somebody up, and that's what's happening. That's what it is. Yeah, the person I wound up probably isn't going to show up because he might be a little. Him and a few people might be a little upset with me right now. But I'm a realist. I'm a realist. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just a realist. Okay. But we're not going to talk about that any further. I've already said my piece elsewhere. So anyway, so today, that's our flight. Should be almost 2 hours in the air. But once we spawn in, we'll talk a little bit more about. I had thought, and part of it is always learning more about some of these squadrons, F-14 squadrons, back in the day, and what they really were. Now, personally, I would think that a squadron called the Grim Reapers would be a squadron that would be on a carrier, on the East Coast, deploying on the East Coast, and just being a overall, what do you call it? Just a, because it sounds like a name for a squadron that you would not want to mess with, right? Grim Reapers, death, that kind of stuff, right? That's what I expected to be the case, and it wasn't. The Grim Reapers were a fleet. Let me make sure I get this correct. Right? Fleet Replacement Squadron. They were the second Fleet Replacement Squadron for F-14s. They had a sister squadron all the way over at Miramar, the Gunfighters. Now, again, you think Gunfighters, man, that sounds like a badass group, a badass squadron. So basically, what they did was they would train once once the pilots and once they graduated from flight school and qualified on jets and everything, then they would go to a fleet replacement squadron to learn the aircraft that they were going to be assigned to. So in this case, most of them would go to, for the longest time, they would all go to Miramar to learn about the F-14, flying it, all the operational specs and everything. The mechanics would go there and learn specifically on how to maintain the airframe and the power system, like the engines and everything, the avionics, the weapon systems, all that kind of stuff. And then they would get assigned to their actual squadron on a carrier. Well, in the mid '90s, the gunfighters were disestablished at Miramar, and so the Grim Reapers became the only Tomcat Fleet Readiness Squadron for the Navy. And then they were shut down there at Oceana and then reestablished down at Eglin with the F-35s once the F-35 program started to be more as the fleet was getting the F-35s, basically the Navy. So, and then that squadron, they were still called the Grim Reapers. They were VFA 101 at Eglin. They were disestablished, and all of their aircraft and whatever else was sent to Lemoore. And then I think that group is still there for fleet readiness for the F-35 pilots for the Navy. Is still out at Lemoore, I think, if I understood correctly. So they didn't go. Technically, the name went from Oceana down to Eglin, and it was reestablished as an F-35 replacement squadron. But it makes sense because you have, not far from here, for the pilots, you have the pilot training there in Corpus Christi, Texas, right here. And then you also have the other training, naval aviation training here in I think it's in Mississippi, if I remember correctly. So it wouldn't be very far for them to go to Eglin for continual training. And many of them probably, when they went through, if they went through Pensacola for any training, they may have a house in the area or whatever. So, it's not very far from Eglin to Pensacola. They know the area. So yeah, it's so yeah, we're basically, so it's not like they flew down there as an F-14 squadron, but we're flying the name there. That's the story for today. So we'll get started in about 6 minutes. But yeah, I was reading about it because I have that book about the F-14, and it talks a little bit about the different squadrons and what they were doing over, in the early years of the F-14 program and the and all that. So anyway, if you want to know more, this is the history of, well, it says VFA 101, but it talks about the history of when it was so that means VFA is Strike Fighter Squadron 101. VF is this fighter squadron. So if you want to know a little bit about that, there you go. There's your homework if you want to do it. If not, it's perfectly fine. I just like to throw those tidbits out there. So I think I did it before in the other stream that I did with the when we flew down to Pensacola. So yeah, that's the plan for today. So we'll give it a few more minutes, and then I'll see if anybody else pops in and says hello. I'm not a popular person this morning. I'll just put that out there. That's okay. I look, I know I can rub people the wrong way sometimes. And um it's a mutual thing. Some people rub me the wrong way. And you know, I forgive them. I still love them. But hey, it's all good, right? It's all good. The love is more important. The forgiveness is more important. But some people aren't quite there yet. I was told many years ago that when I see a world, I see the world a certain way. And, in some instances, it serves me very well. In other instances, it does not. And the deal, they said, you see the world in a very clear black and white sort of thing. And I'm not talking about race, I'm just talking about in general, right? There's no gray area. It's either this or that. There's no in between. And I thought about it and I said, yes, that's true. I tend to be a very realist person, sometimes to a fault, right? Um, that's just how I am. It does not sit well with some people, but I am who I am. Take me as I am, faults and all, or don't. I take you, I take people as they are, faults and all, because we're not perfect people. We never will be. If we expect perfection from others and ourselves, we'll always be disappointed. Always. Absolutely 100% of the time, we will be disappointed. Because nobody is ever going to live up to our expectations. Ever. That's just the reality of it. It's not mean spirited or anything. It is what it is. And sometimes you just have to say, I know this person's going to probably wind me up, piss me off, upset me, whatever, but I still love them either way, unless they cross a line. And then you talk about it. Right? You come to an understanding. You have a kookamoo, a clear understanding, concise understanding, a mutual understanding, right? That's what. But yeah, I'm not perfect, and nor do I ever expect to be, and I don't expect other people to be. I don't. I think about Monday's flight in the DC-6. We had some issues. When we got back into the plane on Wednesday, it went a lot better. There were still a few hiccups, but some of that is you look back at it and you say, oh, I forgot to do this. You learn from it, right? A good, a person who strives to be better always looks at the moment and or thinks about yesterday and say, oh, yesterday I didn't hit enter on that to send that email to the boss to say I was going to be late or something. Oops, my bad. You know, I forgot to send it. Okay. Well, you got a butt chewing, but you just got to remember to hit the send button, right? All right, let's go. When we expect perfection of others and ourselves, we're always going to be let down. I know everybody's like, "Oh, he's getting very philosophical now." I can't. This is Thursday. I don't want philosophical waxing on Thursdays. Alrighty, let's go ahead and spawn in here and get the get our plane started up. Oop.
Oceana Ground Reaper 111 IFR to Eglin, ready to copy.
There's that.
Reaper 111 is cleared to Eglin Air Force as filed. Take off runway 05 right, climb, and maintain 11,000 feet.
Alright. There's that.
Decimal 725 squawk 4063.
Reaper 111 cleared to Eglin Airport as filed. Take off runway 05 right, climb, and maintain 11,000 feet. Departure on 124.725, squawk 4063.
Ooh, a little foggy here, it looks like. Yeah, it might be quiet chat today. That's alright. We're gonna party on Wayne. I think we're all tanked up for this flight. Yep. Alright, let's see. I think we're ready for taxi.
Oceana Ground Reaper 111 ready to taxi IFR.
Alright.
Reaper 111 taxi to and hold short of runway 05 right via taxiway Charlie Alpha. Contact tower on 127.
I think it's to our left and behind us, I think. Yep.
Taxi to
Oh.
hold short runway 05 right via taxiway Charlie Alpha Reaper 111.
So I think tomorrow I'm still flying with my buddy Mick in the A320 going from Krakow to Nantes Atlantique. Ooh, little bump in the road there. I think I am. If he's in the chat, he'll pop in and say yes or no or not sure. So, by now I think everybody's heard about the fiasco with Twitch and the updated terms of service. Which I just now kind of understood more about what the problems are with what they did over earlier in the week, updating their terms of service. Now I'm a bit shocked because well, maybe not so much shocked. The stuff that they've done, I thought traditionally some of the things that they did were for the people who are affiliates. You know, like you can't stream on another platform like YouTube at the same time that you're streaming on Twitch. That's usually traditionally was something only for affiliates. Now it's for everybody, which, yeah, that's a bit of a dick move on their part. I don't know. See, it concerns me for the future of the channel, right? Because there's going to be people who are going to say, I'm not going on Twitch at all. And there's valid reasons why you wouldn't, right? There's very valid reasons why you wouldn't. But I don't know. It's kind of it's a gray area now. As much as as much as I don't see things in a gray area, now it's like, it's, I feel like by streaming, yeah, yeah. And see, if I went to just solely focused on YouTube, it's like starting over from scratch for me. I mean, I'm not making a living off of Twitch. Don't get me wrong. I get what I get. I'm not going to be like, I'm not one of those streamers who's going to make a gazillion dollars off of Twitch. But at the same time, I feel for like my friend Mick, who has been told he can't stream on Twitch even though he's not an affiliate. If he streams on Twitch, he's going to get banned from Twitch. Or if he streams on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So do I join the boycott and not stream on Twitch and find a way to stream specifically on YouTube? Or do I say, well, I'm going to stay here because I'm an affiliate? And if I don't stream on here, then I lose ad revenue. It's like I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. So yeah, I don't know what is the better, what's the best choice. I don't know. Is there a best choice? Because it doesn't seem like anybody's going to win on this one. Yeah, I know, but see, again, paradox. The problem is that when you choose yourself and say, I'm going to do what's best for me, then it just opens up more problems. There's consequences for everything. Not that, I understand both sides. I try to understand, like, I understand the people who, like my friend Mick, who is just like, I just want to be able to stream. I'm not worried about the money aspect of it. He's not he's not an affiliate or anything. Now, if he was an affiliate, then it's like, it puts him in a bad position. Right? I appreciate that, paradox. I try, but I also understand that people are unhappy with the actions of Twitch, but it's going to impact creators like me who we're just putting content out there. I'm not in this to make a boatload of money. I'm realist when it comes to that. Like, I know I'm not gonna. All right, let's close the flight.
Cleared for takeoff runway 05 right, Reaper 111.
Well, I just do it here because it's just easy for me to do on one spot. I've tried in like different, I tried doing YouTube and Twitch at the same time, and it's just too much. It's easier for me to keep track of one chat because I'm looking at this on a 13-inch laptop. I barely have the space to do a lot of other things at the same time. So anyway. All right, we are all set, I do believe. Oh yeah, 11,000 feet. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I tried it. It was a real pain in the butt. All right, let's go. aircraft going here. All right, there we go. All right. For a couple of weeks on Kick and a couple of days a week on Twitch, dividing the two, then upload the recorded streams on. Okay. There you go. That's not a bad idea. All right, we're on our way. Let's go outside here and have a look-see. I think the haze from, well, nope, it's gotten bad again. it was starting to clear up yesterday, but now it's gone back to the I can't see across town very clearly. Yuck. Alrighty. So anyways, yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. Is I'm going to be joining my buddy Mick in the for the flight down to Nantes, or not necessarily down, but to Nantes at least I think that's still the plan, but I don't know. Monday we'll be back in the DC-6. Wednesday evening, being the we'll be back in the Tomcat. Hello, fireman. How are you? It does. I agree, Paradox, but it works for me because otherwise I wouldn't. It would be hard for me to, like, trimming this aircraft out as a chore and getting it to fly kind of level, so to speak, and keep an eye on the chat and all that. It would be too much for me to do. So anyways, so yeah, DC-6 on Monday, Tomcat on Wednesday evening, or well, it's afternoon for us here on the East Coast. It'll be 1 o'clock on the East Coast and 6 o'clock in the evening in the UK. And then we'll do something else on Friday. I don't know. We should be going to another altitude here. There we go. So anyway, yeah. Oh, that's right. It's marketplace update today. Yeah, it's already Thursday. We have, I think, only 2 Thursdays left in the month. Let's see, 15, 20. Oh, we have 3 Thursdays. 15, 22, 29. Yeah. The F4 Phantom is inbound. I think the PC will get it first, and then a few weeks afterwards we'll get it on the Xbox. Remember that. Ooh, I gotta change over the altimeter to standard. Go. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? You put oxygen on. My goodness. Alright, should be up to 30,000, I think, next. Excuse me. Wings should start swinging back here a little bit higher. Just a little bit. Looks like they're swept back just a smidge. Oh, it's starting now, I think. Yeah, it's starting. They're starting to go back. I like it. Got some lurkers here. Say hello, folks. I don't bite, contrary to unpopular belief today. Ooh, boy, that was a big swing back there. All right, that should be our final cruise for now. All right, there we go. Picture right there. I think later on, before we know it, the DC Designs will put out the Delta model for the F-14. It'll be, I think it should be a free add-on to the already existing F-14s in the game. Sim. Wow. Boy, the ads should have been done already. The thing should have like gone green saying that the ads were done. That's kind of weird because it's been more than 2 minutes of ads. Positive of that. I don't know. See, it's one of those areas about Twitch that I don't. Okay. I like how they modeled it where the screen's all scratched up, you know, obviously from use. It's not like a clean, although it makes it harder to see, which I'm sure is how the pilots would see it. Ooh, we got that. Let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. A little bit faster. There we go. Kaboom. That should wake everybody up. You know, huh? That might get the lurkers to start talking. How are you, fireman? How things going? How's the training going? Still drinking from that fire hose of knowledge? Yeah, I'm okay. Just figuring out how I can pick a fight with the VA. So that they understand what I want and all that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm okay. I can complain, but you know, I'll get told off. Nice, good deal. Well, you know, when I was in the Army, we used to always say, if if a soldier isn't complaining, there's something wrong. You know things are going well when soldiers are complaining, because it's just in our nature to complain. Although sometimes there's complaints that are just, you know, frivolous and just nonsense. Like I had a soldier. I don't think I've told this story before, right? I had a soldier that accused her roommate and her roommate's boyfriend of stealing some stuff from her room, right? Now there was no evidence of a quote unquote crime being committed. It was just supposition, right? It was just an accusation that on its face was baseless, because it could have just been that the soldier misplaced their equipment, but instead of just coming forward and saying, I lost some of my stuff, what should I do? Because, you know, there's always people, especially, you know, if you've been in for more than a moment, you accumulate gear that, you know, over a period of time, and that way if somebody's losing something, they don't have to go buy it from clothing and sales or get a statement of charges against them to replace it. You just give them something, even if it's not working, at least they have the equipment on hand, and then they can say, oh, I broke it, I just need to replace it. Okay, cool. You know, that kind of thing. And that's what happened. She had lost her camelback, and so one of the sergeants had one. He said, here, you just got to replace the end of the where you get the water from, the bite piece, whatever you want to call it, right? And so she got mad. She said, but he says, I gave you one, that's all you got to do is replace it, it's not that expensive. And it's not like she, you know, she was living in the barracks, you know, she wasn't making bad money at the time. I don't think it was that expensive to replace the piece, but she got mad and she complained that we didn't take care of her. None of the sergeants had like helped her out, and it's like, what? Wait a minute. Yeah. It always amazes me. Like I always think about that story, and she wrote a letter to the company leadership. All of us NCOs got called up to explain like why we were treating her the way we were, and it's like, we're not treating her poorly. We're not like abusing her or anything in any way, shape, or form. What does? Yeah, you can't. That's true. But it was like we got like the third degree over her, and it's like, nobody's done anything wrong. She made it out like we were hazing her and all this other stuff, and it's like, no, she's just doing normal duties as a medic. You know, if we put her on inventorying all the medication in the back of the aid station, that's a normal duty. That's not punishment or anything. It's got to be done. She made it out like we were. This is the same one that got mad that nobody had invited her over to their house for the Super Bowl. Like, we had a 45-minute discussion about this one day, fireman, that she got mad. She's like, well, I wasn't invited to any parties. Nobody's under obligation to invite you anywhere they don't have to invite you to their house. That's their house. They don't have to have you over. We can't order them to invite you. Oh. What just happened there? Oh, I think I might have broke the engines, folks. I think I might have. Yeah, I think it's sustained. There we go. Yep. Oh, dude, oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hit the deny. But you're right. I meant to hit allow. Boy, they have all kinds of words that just Steve's got. I had to like okay things Steve's saying. It's like just normal like turn the knob. I'm like knob is a bad word. Like oh my god, sorry, I didn't mean to deny it. Oh. Yeah, it was. Oh my goodness, dude, it was insane. It really was. That's one thing I don't miss about being an NCO. It's just I'll never forget when we got called up there to the company area and got the third degree over her and just I got yelled at because she said that I thought that she didn't deserve an award that she got, and I'm like, I never said that. I said I wasn't even there when she was put in for the award. I don't know what had happened. I never said she didn't deserve it. I said it was for something that happened before I even showed up in the organization. I wasn't asked. If I was there, I wasn't asked for any input on the award. Yeah, that's the stuff I don't miss. Hey, if somebody thought she deserved an award, hey, more power to her. It wasn't up to me. Oh, well, what can you do? So, anyways. You know, the bad part was she was a chain smoker from New Jersey. So she already had that Jersey accent on top of the smoke voice. Ugh. 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 You know, there was an event that happened the other day, and I'm not going to say exactly what it was, right? But it reminded me. You guys know I love the movie Moneyball, right? With Brad Pitt about the Billy Bean and the Oakland A's baseball team, right? And I always like the part where they win 20 games in a row, right? Which was an American League record. No team had gone 20 straight at that point. 20 straight wins. And they have, like, you could hear Bob Costas's voice saying, you know, if you play all 20 games over again, you won't get the same result, right? It defies logic, which is true. But if you play those games over again, you will not get 20 wins in a row. And the guy Peter, who Jonah Hill plays, was saying, we just won 20 games. And Billy Bean says it doesn't matter. It's exciting, kind of like it's great for the fans and all that. I mean, a lot of people were going back to the stadium when they were on this run, and suddenly you have all these A's fans filling the seats because they're like, some history might be made there at the Oakland Coliseum. But Billy said something that's true, and it doesn't matter what sport it is. Winning 20 games that season doesn't matter if they don't win the last game of the season, right? Oh, Joseph's lurking. There he is. Yeah. Decided to show up, huh? Joseph, I would have put it like this, young man. I'm not saying you don't have a right to celebrate. You should. I'm not saying you should. You should. You guys won that match yesterday. But as I was saying about the 20 wins, and if you think about it from Billy Bean's perspective, and it's the same that the coach of West Ham should be taking, right? Yes, we won this match yesterday. We've got some more silverware to add to the cabinet, right? They got another trophy to add to their collection from over the years. But if they don't do well for the rest of the Premiership season or in other Europe League matches, it's like the the critics, and that's what I was trying to say in the chat earlier, and it was misconstrued. Maybe that's my own doing. Is that it won't matter if you don't build upon that success, or if you don't, as Billy Bean says, if you don't win the last game of the season, it doesn't matter what you did yesterday. It does matter to you as a fan, I get it. But for the team, it won't mean much if they don't capitalize on what they did yesterday. If that makes sense. That's what I was trying to get across. But of course, me and my limited language skills didn't quite explain that very well. So that's why I was saying, today's a new day. Yes, they celebrated, and they have every right to celebrate. The team did, and so do the fans. But at the end of the day, if you don't utilize that, what worked, and learn from what didn't work, then it's like, does it really matter what happened? And the people who the football analysts will say, that's why I was trying to say, the football analysts will say it's a fluke that you won. You deserve to win. Don't get me wrong. You guys did it, but you gotta capitalize on it. Just like when I would train in the military, every training event that we did, right? And I think firemen will back me up, and so will anybody who's done any kind of military training. You talk about, we have what they call an after-action review. You talk about what worked during the training, what did you do well, and what do you need to improve on. We used to just say, give us 3 positives and 3 negatives. No, that doesn't sound very good. What worked, list 3 things that worked, and list 3 things that need to be improved upon. 3 major things that you can look at and say, we screwed this up. So that's all I was trying to say. But go ahead and celebrate. Just remember, the things that I said wasn't trying to be malicious to you or your team. But right now, if I was a sports agent, I'd be already looking at getting my player off that team. Most agents are probably, some of them are already trying to capitalize on what happened yesterday. But I think he disappeared. I get it. I'm just saying. But it's true. Fireman, you know, just like, so when you, in your training, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. So when you guys go through your training, the job that you're taking, you know, that you're going to be doing, in the training, you think about what areas did you excel in and what areas do you need to improve in. If it means you got to go back and hit the books and study codes or whatever, right? You know that's what you got to do. It's just that's just how it goes, right? And it's the same for sports. If a team wins a championship or just what they think is a big game in general, you say, okay, what can we do to take the lessons learned from that and improve upon it? A good coach would do that. Good players would say, you know, I missed some tackles, or I missed some shots, or I gotta practice penalty shots, or I gotta practice defending better. Just, you know, when I fly, some stuff I do very well in some cases, and other times it's like it's a hot mess. And I learn from the hot mess. That's the key, is learning from the hot mess and trying not to make the hot mess a hot mess again. That's all. I'm practical like that. But, you know, it doesn't always equate very well to other people. That's the problem. Well, it's not the problem. It is what it is. I'm sure if Scruffy was here, he'd say the same thing. I tell my students, hey, this is where you did well on this test. This is where you need to study for the next test. You're missing these areas. What can I do to help you get better at it? Or do we need to get you a tutor? Whatever. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. My weakness, and I I didn't realize it until somebody told me this a few weeks back, is I have resting empathy face. I'm like, okay, I guess I can. That makes sense, but what do you mean? And this person said, well, like for instance, you said you were sitting at the bus stop one day, and this person comes up talking about that they were worried that they missed the. Hey, there's Scruff. Speaking of the devil, there he is. How are you? They were telling me about how that they were asking about a food pantry truck that delivers to the place across the street from where I live. It's like a rest home. I have no weaknesses. Not as much weight as you're throwing around in the gym, I bet, huh, Scruff? The guns are getting bigger every time, huh? And I just sat there and I'm listening and I'm just like, what? I don't, you know, like, I'm kind of dumbfounded because I'm like, this doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know. I said, I just saw the truck. That's all I know. I don't know what they did. Oh, but they were supposed, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, ma'am. I just saw, you asked me and I'm saying, yes, they just pulled out of there. That's all I know. You know. But yeah, I have resting empathy face, and I look at it, it's two sides of the same coin. It's a cursing and a blessing. There is, yeah. You had no motivation at the gym, but you did your routine. So you had fake motivation. That's what happened. You had the fake motivation there, Scruff. You're like, I just got to do it anyway. But see, my resting empathy face gets me in trouble, because then when I finally say, you know, I think enough is enough, then that's when I. Yep, you made yourself do it exactly. But when I finally snap, so to speak, and say and speak from the heart and speak honestly, then it's like I'm the bad guy. But that's okay. I'm used to it. You know, I take the blame for stuff that I know wasn't my fault, but I just like, you know, just to keep the peace, just blame me. I don't care. I just shrug it off. Have a laugh about it later on. You know, that's all you got to do. But the other thing I've learned too over the years is that even when your heart's in the right place and you try to inspire people, help them, kind of give them the bigger picture stuff, some people just don't accept it, you know. And again, it's like what I said the other day. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You could lead people to knowledge, but it's up to them to soak the knowledge in and apply the knowledge. But often it all gets kind of confusing and misunderstood and whatnot. It's just yep. Then you're the a-hole for a while. So, you know, sometime, you know, speaking of which, so I was thinking about, if you think about Band of Brothers, right? Captain Sobel. Now, some people said, now, a lot of the soldiers from Easy Company said if Captain Sobel hadn't treated them the way he did, they wouldn't have been as successful a unit as they were. So, yes, sometimes you need, for lack of a better term, you need a toxic leader to a point. Now, he kind of went overboard with some stuff, but again, I don't know if it was dramatized for TV or if it really happened, but there were some things that he did was like, yeah, that was uncalled for. But you do need that person who's very blunt and holds people to a certain standard, and sometimes you need a leader like Major Winters. Oh yeah, he was. There's no doubt. But sometimes that's what you need in a leader. Not always, but it does have its place, I think. But yeah, sometimes people need to hear the hard truth, and I know sometimes I need to hear the hard truth. And other times, you need somebody who says, let's sit down and talk about this and learn from the experience. There are teachable moments, and there's moments where you just gotta like dig in and yep, exactly. That's what he did. He made them into a unit because they bonded around the fact that they all despised him. You know? And so, like when he wanted to go run up Curry, they run up 3 miles up, 3 miles back, and they just kept on, and they had the esprit de corps, and he stood by, and he was just like, "What's going on here?" He didn't expect them to do that. He expected them to be fussing with one another, and all that kind of stuff. He expected them to give up, but they didn't. I mean, there was a few people that probably Yeah, IO Silver. He expected them to give up, but when they did, he was shocked that when they were actually bonding as a group. Or you know, you have Richard Marcinko, who was in the Navy's. All right, you know, in the Navy SEALs, and he says, "I'll treat everybody just alike, just like poop. I'll treat everybody equally." You know, that way nobody's going to say that somebody's getting favors from me. If I treat everybody like poop, then hey, you can't complain really, now can you? Still got a bit of ways to go. We don't have Monet. The painting? What? We're continuing to the painting? Who came up with the name Monet for a navigation point? We need to talk. But you know, I could try to apologize. I can try to, what's the word? Explain my position on things, but some people just aren't going to hear it. And that's okay. It is what it is. I still love people, despite my flaws and despite theirs. It's all I can do. There, I knew he'd talk to Len at some point. I wonder, yeah, you're right, Scruff. I used to be like that, where I'd want everybody to like me. You know, I always thought, well, if I do these things, everybody will. I realized, or did I realized this lately, and I kind of thinking about when I worked at the community college. You're right, it is. You're a fantastic person. You're very motivational. I think you're very inspirational in the fact that, you're back in the gym at your age, you're losing weight, you're getting back in shape. That's a good thing. But yeah, I'm the kind of person that when somebody says this needs to be done, and people kind of sit around and go like, because they don't want to do the work. They don't want to do it, right? Because somewhere along the way, it got in their mind that it's beneath them to do this task, right? Whatever it is. And so I'd say, I'll do it. I got it. Right? Like when we had open house at the school. Well, we need somebody to come in early to, be there in the dark room. I'll be there. Are you sure? Yeah, I'll be there. I'll make it one way or the other, even if I have to walk to the campus. And I've walked to that campus before. It's a hike because it's not all one straight shot. But I said I'll be there. You have my word. And people were surprised. And I'm like, well, you have staff, instructors who are, they've been there a lot longer than I have. Technically, it should have been one of them, but it's like, well, I'll do it. I don't care. I mean, I would have to be there anyway because to run the dark room. But, and then I'll be there too then. Why'd you wait for me to say yes before you said yes? You should have been the first one to say yes. I was that kind of person. But did it get me anywhere? No. At the end of the day, no, it did. But it needed to be done. But now, when I think about it, I should have sat there and went, two, and then the department chair would have said, all right, you two will be here tomorrow at early to get the dark room open and set up for the visiting students. Right? But yeah. But did it make any difference? No, not really. Not really at all. So that's okay. I'm proud of the work I did. I'm proud that I helped, but I know at the end of the day, it's not like they're going to call me up and say, hey, we miss your hard work. Yeah, exactly. But not just for the students. So when I first got to Fort Stewart, General Kukolo, or as he was affectionately known amongst the ranks, Big Tony C. General Kukolo was the division commander of 3rd Infantry Division at Fort Stewart. Now, I didn't quite grasp what General Kukolo was trying to say when I got there. And he was one of the division commanders. He was. I remember when I got there, he came. We went into a theater because we were in processing into the division, and he basically told us what his expectations were. And one of the things that he said, and I didn't really think about it until after I got out. He said, whether you're in uniform or not, how you conduct yourself represents the division. Think about that. He expected his officers, whether you were lieutenant all the way up to a 1-star general, whatever, anywhere in between, he expected his officers to dress. He said on the weekends, you should be in like khakis and a collared shirt, whether it's a polo or just any other kind of collared shirt. Right? That was his expectation. So, and I thought, I'm like, that just doesn't. Why would you tell somebody how they're gonna dress, right? But he had a point, and so that when I was working at the community college, even when I was still a student, I was working there. I say, how I act towards other students, especially new students, that reflects the school overall. If somebody's lost and I sit there and go like, this person looks lost, but I'm not going to be bothered to go over there and ask them if they're lost or not, and I'm still an employee of the school, not that many people knew that at the time, or you couldn't tell, but it still reflects the school. Right? So if I say, let me go over and talk to this person. Hey, are you lost? What are you trying to get? Because, you can tell when people are looking around, they're looking at a piece of paper, they're starting to stress because before you know it, class is going to start and they're not in their seat, you know. So, yes, how you conduct yourself, how you represent the school, that has an impact. In theory, it has an impact on how people perceive their time at the community college, or even any school, whether it's community college, university, whatever. But many people forget that. They're just like, I can't be bothered. It doesn't matter. They'll sort it out. See, I used to. Oh, so here's what I did, Scruff. I don't know if you ever heard this story. So when I first started at the school, just as a student, I would wear jeans and a t-shirt, right? Kind of beat up shoes or whatever. I just kind of blended in. And one day, I thought, I wonder what would happen if I decided to wear nice pants, nice shoes, a shirt, and a tie. And I actually looked, I set myself apart from everybody else. It was like a totally different experience. And then next thing I know, people are coming, hey, can you help me out? And I'm just like, just because I had a shirt and tie on, they thought I had answers to things. Right? And to a point where the first time I was part of a photo show at where my photography teacher, she used to work in a dark room, and they had like a gallery space, right? And one of the instructors said, so what classes do you teach? I said, what do you mean? He said, oh, I see you waiting in the hallway sometimes. I said, I don't teach anything. I'm just a student. He's like, you're kidding, right? I said, no. He said, but I see you in a shirt. I said, yeah, because I want to look good. If I look good, I kind of feel good. He was like dumbfounded. But he thought I was an instructor too. The simple change in your attire, people's perception of you changes. Even the person at the cafeteria, she said, oh, your staff discount. I didn't even have to pull out an ID. She automatically assumed. And I was like, okay, cool. I wasn't going to correct her. I should have been like, no, I'm a student. I just, we got some presentations or whatever. Hey, it's discounted food. Why am I going to say no? Everybody has it, their power to change people's perceptions of themselves. Not everybody's going to accept it. They're going to be, some people are like, why are you dressing like that? I had one instructor when I was doing classes online in Syracuse. Why are you wearing a shirt and tie, Robert? Well, because I got a presentation later on in another class. I'm not going to try to like run into my bedroom and change real quick. I'm just going to stay dressed. She was threatened by it. Like I was trying to like undermine her authority in the class or something. Why can't I look nice and you accept that? But people get threatened by that. When you make a change for the better for yourself, people, why are you doing that? Because I want to. Yeah, but why? Why not? Oh, yeah, it was crazy. I wish I could have video or recorded that whole class or just like, because I joined the Zoom call for the class. We were waiting for other people, and I was on the camera, and she was like, "What are you doing?" What? I'm like looking around, like, what? Why are you dressed like that? Wow. now? People get so threatened. For what? Like, what, you think I got nothing better to do than to try to take your authority away in the class or something? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's all good. Nice to see you as always. Have a laugh. Have a giggle. Have a sip of coffee. Isn't that what life's all about? Or at least that's the theory. But at the end of the day, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. I'm alright with that. Even if I have good intentions. No, not today. No, that was a yeah, I'm just trying to make up for lost time, basically, Scruff. No, once we land here at Eglin, I'm done for today. So, but hopefully you have a great rest of your day and enjoy your class, and that the students learn something from you. That's the the wings have been adjusting ever so slightly. They're not fully swept back. There's a little bit of a gap there. No, once we land at Eglin and park our aircraft, we'll be done for the day. And we'll be back Monday for sure in the DC-6. I gotta plan out the next leg of the flight. So, thanks, Scruff. Appreciate it. Catch you later. Go educate them youngsters. All right, so I know. I think where there was a 747 or a 787 over here somewhere. I do believe. So I know we are still over Georgia. I think Atlanta is to our right there. Eglin's down and along, not far down the road from Pensacola. Let's see if we can. Let's zoom out here. Looks like we've got a long way to go to. All right, so. IVGIF is 124 nautical miles away. Way out there. Okay. So I think after that we should probably start looking at let's see what it looks like once we get there. And we'll start making some decisions here. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out today. Nice to see you all here. Even if you're lurking. You know, it's such an iconic shape when it's like that. If I ever could do it, I get as many model planes of the F-14 as possible, and just have all the different squadron liveries. Call it Tomcat Room. Be a lot of model building. All right, 101. Almost 100. All right. Is it me, or does it seem like the exhaust is like at an angle? I don't know, it seems kind of weird. There's the ads. This will premiere on Saturday on the Tube of You. I guess we'll shoot for a late morning premiere Saturday. Oh, so get this, right? I get an email yesterday saying, now this is from supposedly this is from my property manager for my apartment complex. From 3 to 9 p.m., NYSEG will be bringing the power down for repairs. I thought, 6 hours in the afternoon going into the evening. Normally when the power company brings the power down, and I thought about it, I'm like, why would they? It wasn't like a mass email to like everybody, you know, like if they have a list, you know, everybody's emails that they just put so that you can't see it, but it's built in that they can just click on it and say, bam, it's emailed to everybody. But then I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute. Whenever the power company takes the power down for any reason along the block here, they put a notice on the outer door of the complex to say on this date at this time, and they usually give you like advance notice. And so like 3 o'clock came and went, nothing happened. 4, and I'm like, I think it was a it was not a legit email. It was a scam or something. I deleted it, but I thought about it. I'm like, I don't remember seeing a notice on the outside of the complex. Hey, there's Uncle Mike. I remember Uncle Mike. He's in the F-16. He's catching up. I haven't seen Uncle Mike in a while. I haven't been able to catch some of his videos. He's a YouTube streamer. Does flight simming and a bunch of other variety stuff. Going to Eglin, Mike. Yeah, he flew with us for a while. Oh, wow. Okay. We're getting told when to descend. Okay, that's good. We're down about 270. Wings should start to unfold here. There we go. As we Mike might go shooting past us. There he goes. So I'm guessing that means we are not going to. Yep. Okay. Figured about right there. Oh. He was there. What happened? Oh, the sim didn't crash on him. Nobody wants to talk to me, so I'll be all by myself. Do do do, do do do. Hey, there's Amella. How are you? I'm not by myself now. Hey, Amella. What's new? How are you? I had chicken tenders for dinner last night. Nothing exciting. I'm sure you have seen the shenanigans over in the Discord. That's what I'll call it, shenanigans. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Just I gotta make a phone call after after we're done flying here. I gotta try to light a fire under the VA to get some things going. It's the only way I think they're gonna maybe understand the situation better, or clearly, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use some colorful language, for lack of a better term. Get my point across. They're probably gonna hang up on me though. That's okay. Tentatively, I'll be back tomorrow with Mick on his flight. I don't know what time yet. Yeah, you know. What can you say? It's all good. And, you know, here's the thing, though. And you've known me long enough. I still love everybody over there, regardless of what they may be thinking about me right now. Even if they're like, "Oh, I want to choke him to." Still love them. That hasn't changed. It's okay, though. But anyway, so yeah, I think Beck and I are still doing the flight tomorrow, although I don't know. I've not gotten. If he's lurking, he's not said anything. But if not, I'll be back 6:45 Eastern, 11:45 UK Monday in the DC-6. Wednesday will be an afternoon flight, and then Friday we'll do something. I don't know. I may get back into DC-6 on Friday, just kind of switch things up a little bit. So, yeah, Monday we'll continue our journey. Oh, I had chicken nuggets. So, nothing exciting. All right. Oh, we're near. Oh, so we must be getting near. Yeah, right there. Oh, we gotta. I'm thinking we gotta drop more altitude here shortly. But I can't make that. Oh no, my thing has gone. Ah, no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. All right, we got to really drop altitude now. My radio stopped working. Okay, and what's Jacksonville Center? Hold on a second, folks. I gotta. It's KVPS. What? No, KVPS. Charts. Please and thank you. Taxi. Oh, why is my radio suddenly stopped working? We could try 1277 maybe? Let's try that. Oh, I just guessed that. Ooh. Ooh. 6,000. Okay. 1,600. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. Woo. Wow. That almost got ugly. What is going on with the radios? That's the second time that the radios have just stopped talking. That is insane. I don't know what's going on with the radios lately. Alright, if I look at our range here, so 40 nautical. Alright, there's that. Something's going on with these radios. I don't know what it is, but man, that's all right. We got it. We got this. So our Eglin should be right somewhere over there. Better leave that open because I have a feeling I'm going to need that just in case. But I think my co-pilot is still answering the radio. That is really strange why it suddenly shut off like that. Like I don't think I hit any buttons that would have shut the radios off, because then we wouldn't have been talking to anybody. I think that's Eglin right there. Yep. Because there's two runways. There's that one and there's one that runs that one. It should be our destination right there. Yeah, because we're going to turn in here. So, okay, I got to let's get the flight stick on. Or not on, but I have to start dropping some flaps here. Aircraft slow down. Weird. All right. I wonder if some of this stuff is happening. I mean, I'm not part of the aircraft and avionics update, but this is the second time like we've lost radio stuff, and it's like I have to come, like if I didn't look up that the landing gear down here. Yeah, if I hadn't looked up the frequency for Eglin at all, it would have been, there's no telling what would be happening right now. We'd be way too high, and I mean, luckily we got down to 1,600 feet here. Let's see, when do we turn in? Should be coming up soon. I would think. Oh, wait a minute. Are we on? Is the runway? Oh, runway's ahead of us. I thought we were turning. All right, there we go. Okay.
Eglin Tower, number 11114 miles,
No, just having a bit of fun today, Steve. That's all. We're almost at Eglin, and we're gonna put this thing on the ground and call it a day. How are you? All right. Well, it seems like we're locked in. I think. Alright, the nose isn't dropping over to capture the glide slope, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. Alright, let's get this thing on the ground. Yeah, it was not. I think I might have done the ILS stuff a little too early or did it in the wrong order, but that's okay. We got this. There we go. Ta-da! I like it. I'll take it. On behalf of myself and entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Eglin Air Force Base. Local time is 8:44 in the morning. We understand and appreciate the fact that it's Thursday. One more day of the weekend. And we're glad you chose to fly with us today. Do join us Monday in the DC-6. Not sure where just yet, but we'll get there. Oh, I gotta open up the probably like acknowledge. All right, thank you, Mom. Appreciate it. That wasn't too bad. Yeah, can I get to the exit first, please and thank you? I think we're going to end up going over that way, but that's all right. We'll turn to the right here. Almost thought that was a person standing there on the run off to the side of the runway, coming up here to this little sign right there. I thought, is somebody standing there trying to tell us which way to go? Yeah, boy, it's weird when you don't hear the radio. Yeah, kind of a weird thing when you don't hear the radio. Yeah, there's something definitely going on with the either my co-pilot stops talking or ATC stops talking. I don't know which, but something's not right. I don't know. Well, we made it. That's all good. So yeah, that's the plan. I think I'm supposed to be flying with my friend Mick tomorrow, but I don't know if that's still a go. He hasn't given me yeah, I think you're right, Steve. Well, between that and just having my co-pilot answer the radio, which is what I have set up, so that I can, because otherwise I get, it's hard for me to fly and answer the radio at the same time because I'm on the Xbox. I don't have a key binded to acknowledge the radio transmission. That's the only drawback. I'm sure there is one on the keyboard, but yeah, trying to reach over and hit the key and fly at the same time is a bit difficult. So I know I know that they know it's an issue. like I've seen them acknowledge, like, yeah, we know it's a problem, but yeah, you're right. I think it's a low priority problem for them. Oh, that's okay. It's karma today. It's what it is. It's karma. It's karma running over my dogma. But that's okay. We have enough experience, and that's the key. Is when you have enough experience, just to kind of go and do what you know needs to be done. Yeah, I've heard about that, Steve. Uh, I know a lot of people just don't fly with ATC on at all. They just they're or they fly VATSIM. But I've heard mixed things about VATSIM too. But that's all right. We just having enough knowledge and experience to go like maybe if I tune in a different frequency that'll kind of kick things over, and that's exactly what. And I didn't even think about it because I was like, well, maybe I'm just waiting for them to. Yeah, yeah, that's part of it. Some people just don't like the way that the uh how people are on there, the controllers themselves, the yeah. Well, there's just like a whole bunch of issues, but that's okay. We got it figured out. Well, so like the other day or like today, I didn't hear ATC. Once they told me to go to 32,000 feet, I didn't get anything else saying to send further because I was waiting for more instructions. And that's when I checked the radio because I'm like, did I miss a call and just not realize it? And that's when it was like it hadn't it hadn't tuned in and got the next set of instructions. So there's that. So that's why I was like, well, let me tune into one of the Eglin frequencies, and then it just finally it all kind of kicked over. So it's fine. It is what it is. Get out the way! Get out the way! Here comes an accident. I think we were supposed to come in the other way. Oh well. There we go. So yeah, it's okay though. We got here and it's fine. Let's see. Let's extend the ladder. Hey, there's our ladder. Yay, we made it. That's a pretty cool shot. Let's get a picture of that real quick too. Figure out which one is. There it is. Ooh. Let's reset. What do you think? And we'll wrap things up. So yeah, that's why I just like let me just try putting on the I like that's a good picture. Bingo. So yeah, that's why I thought I'd tune into a different frequency and see if that did the trick. Oh, you know what? We haven't Ooh, let's see what it looks like with the pilots when they aren't wearing their. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, they're not wearing their masks or their visor. Very cool. All right. Ooh, let's get a smile for the camera. Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna be it today, folks. Do appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out. If you lurked or whatever, thanks for lurking. Appreciate it. Hour 33, not too shabby. Cheese, yeah, there you go. So yeah, thank you all for coming in, hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Or if you lurked, whatever, couldn't be bothered. I don't know, whichever. It's all good. So yeah, that'll be it for today. We'll be back on Monday for sure. That's the plan. We'll continue on with our journey in Africa. Steve, if you want to join, you're more than welcome to again. I don't know. I'll figure out a plan here shortly, and I'll post it in the Discord. I think you're on my Discord. So yeah, I'll have a rough plan, and then we'll come up with something en route again. I think that works pretty well. So yeah. So anyway, everybody, do enjoy the rest of your. Love you. Bye. Do enjoy the rest of your Thursday morning, afternoon, evening, early Friday for some folks already around the world. I have been, and always shall be, even if you don't want me, your host and Parasox airline captain, Uncle B. Until Monday, for sure. Peace. Live long and prosper.